I follow Siri into the living room as she hastily unlocks the door and exits the house. Locking back up after her, I return to one of the seats opposite the couch and sit. I reach for the remote and look for something to tune out to. The TV blares out loudly and Hallie begins to stir.
Hi.
Hey.
What's the time?
About... I glance at the TV's home menu. 4:30.
Great. Sorry I slept so long.
You needed it.
What are you watching?
Dunno, really. Just channel surfing. How are you feeling? He scooches up, making space for me on the couch. I take my place next to him.
Still a little tired.
You want a coffee?
Oh, sure. You having one too?
I'll stick to the hot chocolate. If that's alright.
Don't know how much we've got left, but go for it.
I make my way to the kitchen. I effortlessly dump a sachet of hot chocolate into the nearest clean mug and carefully dose just the right amount of coffee into Hallie's, my pink mug. The kettle simmers for a minute before I top up the drinks with boiling water. Pulling open the fridge, I notice the lightness of the milk carton. I rattle it around, and sure enough, it's nearly empty. The last of it goes to Hallie. I bring them both back into the living room, first handing him his coffee before placing my hot chocolate on the table.
What did I miss?
Crap. I consider not even bothering with the homework, considering the fact I'll be gone in the next few days. But not only did I mention it to him earlier, I owe it to him to at least try. Not much. Sari came over and dropped off some of our homework for us.
Right. What have we got?
I got some history to catch up on, and we both got the same math worksheet.
Ugh.
He doesn't seem too pleased. Betting it's the math, I try to encourage him. At least we're kind of prepared for the math, right?
I guess so. Still, it's just, ugh. It was hard enough when it was just numbers. Hey, I can't promise to be much help, but do you need a hand with the history stuff?
Is he? Are you just looking for a reason to avoid the math?
No. Okay, yeah.
Figured.
But I will actually try.
Try to dodge it, more like.
And I'll resist the urge to look it up.
Okay, that sounds good. Better than doing literally nothing at all.
Or the both of us sitting in silence.
Yeah.
So, what do you have for history?
I rifle through the notes on the coffee table, eventually spotting my sheets. Looks like the first big chapter assessment. The speed of progress, the Industrial Revolution. I imitate a yawn, stretching my arms above my head.
Hey, come on, it's a hell of a lot more interesting than math.
That's not setting the bar very high.
It's probably more interesting than half the stuff we learn in school, period.
Really?
Sure. I mean, everything we have today is mostly thanks to the inventions and ideas that came from that time period.
Suddenly, watching paint dry looks appealing.
Cars, TVs, phones, even some of the first...
See?
Oh, very funny.
Geez, you sound just like my history teacher. That guy never fails to put me to sleep.
At least I'm a little more enthusiastic about it. I swear, most of our teachers seem like they're on autopilot half the time.
They have to talk about the same crap to a bunch of uninterested children for years on end. Of course they tune it out. I mean, they get paid to do it, and even that's not enough to at least pretend they care. Where did that come from? Anyway, the assessment, sorry. It's the usual regurgitate a few facts, memorize specific years for the end of chapter test, and it looks like I need to write a short essay.
You got a title for it?
Yep, right here. Where can we still see the impacts of the Industrial Revolution today? Hey, looks like your little lecture will come in handy for this.
Not much of a snooze fest now.
I'll be bored out of my mind the entire time, but I think I can handle it.
Alright then, we'll start at the beginning.
It's done. I thought it'd never end. Hallie, clearly also sick of it, stands up and reaches his hands out to the ceiling.
Well, that wasn't that bad, was it?
You're one to talk. I had to do the work and listen to your droning.
Sounds like you're in need of a break too.
I could probably do with one, but we're almost done. Compared to the essay, this math worksheet is nothing. Hallie crashes down onto the couch and slumps over the coffee table.
Come on, 5 minutes?
Alright, fine. 5 minutes. From out of nowhere, he pulls me into a hug. I return it, relieved to get a brief glimpse of his warmth. But we can't waste time with this stuff. You can't waste time with this stuff.
I mean, we have all evening and it's just the math sheet now.
Not even close. The history and math sheets were all Sayori could pick up for us to... Hell, apparently it was a real pain for her to get what she could. She doesn't know your timetable all that well, and I'd only ever mentioned history to her in passing. So I gave her my timetable earlier. She should be able to get everything then. But you'll have to give her yours at some point.
Oh, I can text that to her right now. God, she's really going out of her way for us.
Yeah. It's really kind of her. And we talked. Here goes. Sorry to get a little grim here, but she's really worried about you. And after what she told me about Monday, and what happened with this morning, I am too.
I'm not the one you should be worrying about, Natsuki. I'm doing, well enough. Hell, I'm more worried for you and her.
I don't believe for a second that he's well enough.
Kinda funny, isn't it? It's like a worry triangle.
I'm not sure I'd call it funny.
Well, you know what I'm getting at. It's strange.
Yeah, it's strange.
But listen, we've talked about it, and we've both talked to Sayori about it. I think the three of us need to have one big talk.
Yeah. I don't have time.
Let's call it tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. Not ever. Sounds good. Now, math?
Ugh, really?
And with that, I can safely drop the pretense. Well, it's not like we can't come back to it a bit later, I suppose.
Thank you.
You're a persistent one, you know that?
Well, you love me anyway, don't you?
Trying to match his cheekiness, I reach over and kiss him on the cheek. Check back later and I might say yes.
Gee, thanks.
With nothing else lined up, I reach for the TV remote, switch it on, and begin looking. I land on an all-too-familiar property-based reality show. It's shit enough. If I can just have some time alone to call Sayori. I'm sorry, Hallie, but maybe I don't need to leave tonight. I feel the weight of responsibility on my shoulders. If I leave, I'll probably never see Hallie again. He'd hate me for lying to him and for putting him in my dad's sightline. But if I stay just for one more day, I'll have more time to plan and to prepare. I'll be more ready, and I'll be able to spend another day with him. For all the shit I've given him. I love him to death. God. Making up my mind, I wrap my arm around him and try to relax myself. We sit together watching the series, happy to be with each other. A part of me wishes we could stay just like this forever. I lay my head on his shoulder and close my eyes.
Thursday, 5th of October.
What? Oh God. Shit. What am I doing here? Through the pitter-patter of the rain, I managed to make out birds chirping. I quickly look out the window to see it's mostly dark outside. Good, means it's still early morning. But I need to go before the sun comes up. I need to get a solid plan in place first. No, I don't have the time. I just hope Sayori's up. Slowly backing myself out from under Hallie's arm, I creep upstairs. Sneaking into my room, I wheel my suitcase to the center of the room and begin lamenting my idiotic choice. What the fuck was I thinking? Putting him in danger again? I seriously can't help myself, can I? Article after article of clothing is dumped in the case. Weird shirt, pink shirt, shorts, even my school uniform. It's not like I'm gonna need it where I'm going, but I can't leave a trace of evidence here. Cat shirt, gloves, scarf. God, why'd you have to make this so hard, Hallie? I can't just... No. Steal the heart. I have to. For his safety. It takes a couple minutes of packing, but that's everything. Ready to go. I can see the sun coming up between the clouds. I need to hurry. Now, out of the house. Get my shit out of here without waking him up. Get to Sayori's and plan. Get the first bus I can out of town. Then I'm on my own. It all sounds so simple in my head. And yet... I swing on my jacket and pat down the pockets. I feel the light rustle of my remaining banknotes. Sayori said a coach was the budget option. I quickly count the money. I sure hope this is enough. It's not like I can pay her back anytime soon if I end up running short. Pulling my shoes on, I exit the room and try to wheel my suitcase to the stairs as quietly as I can. Wait, I can't just leave without a word. He deserves some kind of explanation. Siri said I should write a note. Damn it. Delicately opening the door to his bedroom, I rush over to his desk. Paper, pen, write. I'm sorry for running. Eating away at me. Dad has your address. So fucking dumb. I really do love you. But I can't stay here. That should do it. I put the pen back where it belongs. Passing the suitcase, I sneak downstairs. Laying the note down on the coffee table, I wince with regret. I'm sorry, Hallie. Back up and into the hall. Double checks to make sure I have everything. I consider myself ready. I tread lightly, taking great care to gently bring the suitcase down step by step. 1 step, 2 step, 3. Shit!
What the fuck was that? And that's how that went. Now we know. There's only one more parallel. It looks like this one might be after everything. Parallel 4, in limbo. Yep, there we go. Monday, 9th of June, 2018. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and guess we're Monica this time.
And the main street ends here, turning into a small cul-de-sac. The summer heat really is ferocious today. Refraction turns the road ahead into shimmering mirages. She really doesn't live too far away, does she? I could have visited any time I wanted. Yeah, I could have, but I didn't. I make my way down the winding sidewalk into Sayori's neighborhood. After a few minutes, I'm able to see her house down the road, exactly as she described. The house next to hers is dark. The blinds are shut on every window, except one of them on the second floor. I guess I found Hallie's house. My heart wrenches when I think about what he's going through. I need to visit him today, too. As I walk past, I can almost see movement behind the curtains. I find myself expressing relief. That he's still here? I try to expunge those thoughts. Don't. This is meant to be a nice get-together. I approach the Ori's doorstep, taking a deep breath and holding it. I put on the most confident demeanor I can muster. Today is going to be rough on me. But I can do this. I can do this. I exhale and knock on the door. An agonizing minute passes before I hear a lock being disengaged. Then another. The door opens. Monica! Hi, happy birthday! Siri springs forward, wrapping her arms around me. I only barely stop myself from falling over. Thank you! Oh, looks like you're in a good mood today. She lets go and gives me an odd smile. Despite it being her 19th, perhaps she is, in fact, not in a good mood at all. I want to press it, but... No, let her tell you on her own. Anyway, you want to head inside? Oh, yeah. I step inside her home and take off my shoes. Would you like a coffee? Oh, yes, please, thanks. Coming right up. She beckons me into her kitchen. Take a seat, I'll put the kettle on. I drag out one of the kitchen chairs and sit. The table is cluttered in envelopes and papers. Siri blushes a bit and clears them off after starting the burner. Sorry, been taking care of the bills. I thought your mother took care of those. She takes care of her own. These are... Her expression becomes increasingly more downcast. They're for Hallie. Mom leaves money in a folder to make sure they get paid. As long as he does the actual mailing them bit. And being how he is, I've been doing the mailing for him too. Just behind her back. That's awfully generous of you. Monica, it's Hallie. I'd do anything for him. Plus, his family and mine go way back. We don't have a lot of money right now. Siri clips the envelopes together with a clothespin before heading to her cabinet. She takes out a coffee filter and a tea bag before turning around with an apologetic look. Looks like Mom's only got decaf. Coffee's coffee, I don't mind. Okay. She pours the coffee grounds into the filter, tying it up into an odd bag of its own. Interesting. Never seen it done like that before. I think Mom's feels really bad for what happened to Knots. And that's how she shows it, I guess. I feel a needle in my heart.
On your foot?
The very thing I've been trying my hardest to not acknowledge yet. Notsky, you need to see her today. Change the topic. Say something. My thought is interrupted by the shrieking of the kettle. Oh, water's done. I'll deal with these later, I guess. She gestures towards the bills. I should check on him later anyway. Would you like to come with? Of course I would. I haven't spoken to him in... I clear my throat. In, months at least. Yeah. Her voice loses momentum for a moment, replaced with a tired monotone. She's clearly not over it. Neither am I, for that matter. She pours the hot water into 2 cups, moves the tea bag, move the improvised coffee strainer. She hands the coffee to me and sits across the table. Hope that's okay. It should be, thank you. We sit in silence for a moment, sipping on our drinks. Appearing eager to change the subject, she speaks up. So, you said you had some news to share? She holds her tea, leaning forward in anticipation. Okay. So, remember when I was basically uncontactable for a month? Oh, when I was working really hard to get that programming scholarship? Yeah, what about... Her eyes go wide. Oh, no way. I got the letter this morning. Oh my god. She jumps up and runs over to my side of the table. Leaning down, she hugs me again. Tightly this time. Ow. I'm barely able to pat her arm in response. Monica, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, it is. Siri releases me, frowning a bit. In hindsight, it was foolish to try and hide it from her. She could always sense this kind of thing, even back in the old days. Kind of uncanny, if you ask me. She pulls up the chair next to me and sits. Monica, I thought you'd be over the moon for this. You worked so hard for it. You earned it. What's wrong? I'm not ready for this. Nothing's wrong. I'm just a bit nervous, admittedly. It's effective immediately, so I have to start packing soon. With any luck, I can get there in time for the summer semester, get a head start. Which means I hesitate for a moment. Thankfully, Siri manages to finish my sentence. Have to move. Yeah. There'll be student accommodation waiting for me. Siri reaches for her tea and stirs it, gazing into the aromatic orange liquid. She reminds me a bit of a soothsayer scrying upon the tea leaves. She reminds me of Yuri. Another pang of sadness in my heart. I miss her so much. Well, being nervous is pretty common, I think. Especially where you're going. Are you sure that's all it is, though? She wasn't as upset as I thought she would be. She has changed. I decided to be honest. I'll go a bit more into detail later. Hey, that's okay. Maybe we can go for a short walk? After we do what we need to do, of course. It's too nice outside to stay indoors all day. It'd be great to have some company again. That sounds really nice, actually. We could do that. Let me finish my coffee and we'll meet up with Hallie. We finish our drinks as we make some small talk. Mostly about what she's been up to the past few months. When I have been avoiding people. It seems like she's been balancing taking care of the house, her schoolwork, and Hallie. A far cry from the aloof and scatterbrained Siri I once knew. The experiences we had over the past year took a toll on everyone involved. And while she's clearly overstressed and tired, it looks like she came out of it the best out of all of us. I'm proud of her for that. With our mugs cold and empty, we set them in the sink and head next door,